Rajgopal ji, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
My question is related to Vedas. Basically, you mentioned, can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Vedas are divided into 4. That is what our understanding is. And my question is, what is the criteria used in dividing Vedas into 4? That is question number 1. Number 2 is in Krishna actually specifies only 3 Vedas in Gita. Rik, Sama, Yajur, Vacha, that is what he says. So only one Veda is actually missed. What is the reason for that? And the third question is, I consider Veda as actually a science. So the Veda mantras are resulted from explorations, basically. So if a new Veda mantra is discovered in future or even now, to which branch it will go, or will a fifth Veda will come out? That is my purpose.
See, when we talk about Vedas, always we consider them as divided into four branches or 4 segments. Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvaveda. There is no doubt at all. There are 4. But if we are ready to look some more deeper, there are 5, not 4. Because Yajurveda itself is divided into 2 segments, that is Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda. So there are 5 Vedas, 5 categories: Rig Veda, Krishna Yajurveda, Shukla Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvaveda. So however, these 5 are parts of these 4. Now comes how we are dividing. What is the criteria? When we look into that, see, there are 3 types of Veda mantras. Not 4 types, only 3 types. That is, let me use one Samskrita Shabda, Lakshana. There are 3 Lakshanas. One Rig Lakshana, the second is Yajur Lakshana, the third is Sama Lakshana. There is no 4th Lakshana. Only 3 Lakshanas are there. One is Rig, the second is Yajus, and third is Sama. What is Rig? Niyata Padakshara Baddho Rig. That is the Lakshana of Rig. Niyata Padakshara Baddha. That is divided into certain number of padas, lines, with certain number of aksharas. Akshara is not alphabet. Alphabet is varna. When varnas put together, make akshara. For example, K plus A equals Ka. K plus E, Ki. K plus O, Ku, like that. So, in one line, certain number of aksharas, for example, 8 or 12 or 11, like that, or 6. Certain number of aksharas in certain number of padas means that is a rik. That is in the form of a poem. The second is Aniyata Padakshara Baddho Yajuhu. Aniyata Padakshara Baddho Yajuhu. Where there is no such a rule like division of lines into certain number of aksharas, that is called Yajus. And then there is Sama. Sama is, really it is music. Sama is music, song. That is along with the line specification or akshara specification, there will be swaras. There will be swaras. And there are 2 types Panja Bhaktigam, Sapta Bhaktigam, like that. I'm not an expert in that. The music part, I'm not an expert. But however, it is a song form. So these are the three forms of Vedic mantras. And Rik put together make Rigveda, Is put together make Yajurveda, Samans put together make Samaveda. And that part, which is having all these three, is Atharvaveda. So in the Atharvaveda, we can see many mantras belonging to the category Ruk, many other mantras belonging to the category Yajus, and of course some mantras, only a few mantras belonging to the category Sam. But in Rigveda, only Riks are there. It's an anthology of Riks. In the same way, Yajus, there are only Yajus. So that is the way how these four are compiled. All these are matters of compilation. Now, the third part of the question, of course, the subject matter of all mantras are revelations. We never call a rishi the author of mantra. We never call a rishi as the author of mantra, but we call to whom it is revealed. That is the meaning of rishi, rishayo mantra dashtaraha. So the question is, if we are in later days, through our explorations, through our sadhanas, we are getting more and more revelations. To which category we will add that? See, how we are teaching that revelation to the world. The question is not connected with what revelation we are getting. The question is connected with how we are teaching to the world, how we are sharing that revelation with the world. If we are sharing to the world in the form of Rik, of course, it will be added to Rigveda. If we are teaching that in a prose, not a poetic word style, prose style, then it will be a part of Yajurveda. And if we are competent enough to make Sama, I don't know whether anybody is alive in the world to make new Sama. No, I don't think like that. There is no anybody in this world who can make a new Sama. No. It is finished. Of course, if somebody is there, then it will be added to Sama. But the problem is, there is a tradition of teaching. And this tradition, when it started, we do not know, but we can say thousands and thousands of years back, thousands and thousands of years back, this tradition of Vedic teaching has begun. Now, if we write something more, nobody will add to Vedic text. We can write it as a new or a separate book, and we are having full freedom to name our book Veda, a new Veda by Swami Chidananda Puri. We can write that, but nobody will accept it as Rigveda or Yajurveda or Samaveda or Atharvaveda, as the tradition of this Vedic teaching has begun thousands and thousands of years back, and many acharyas have given commentaries on that. So that is a fact. So we cannot add to Veda. We can elaborate Veda. We can explain Veda. We can write commentaries on Veda. If we are writing, we will be authors of that part. Let me repeat once more. If we are writing a new mantra, we are author. There are no authors in Vedic literature. Namaste.